I lost 15 pounds. I restored my energy and I cut my thyroid medications from 295 micrograms all the way to only 50 micrograms. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I lost 15 pounds in only 1 month. I kept it off, regained my energy, and have been symptoms free for over 15 years now. All that by lowering chronic inflammation. And by the way, it is the key to melting off the fat, healing your thyroid, reversing all the other awful symptoms and everything without your doctor dismissing your symptoms. So let's dive in right away. What were the problems I faced? So the very first one, I visit 5 different doctors. And guess what? Out of those 5, 4 completely dismissed my symptoms. They made me feel like I was making that up, like you're fine, you're just gaining weight because you're eating too much. You just need to eat less and work out more. That was pretty wrong, of course. Then the second problem I face is after being diagnosed by the 5th doctor, I was only given a prescription, not a real solution, not why I had hypothyroidism, what was the root cause, how could I heal my thyroid, how could I reverse the symptoms, was just take this medication, that's it. Work out more, eat less, and you will be okay. I was super frustrated. I kept gaining weight even though while taking my prescription, dieting and exercising, because that was what I was told to do. So I was draining myself. And by the way, I will explain that a little bit later, but that is completely wrong when you have thyroid issues. I had constant fatigue, brain fog, mood swings. Like honestly, I felt like I was an emotional roller coaster. It was up, down within minutes. It was very crazy. It's not another word to explain it. And this is very sad, but at that time, I felt really lonely. I felt completely dismissed and I felt broken. I felt like it was something wrong with me, like I was not doing enough. Because I was doing what the doctor told me, right? I was taking my prescription. I was working out even more. Actually, at the time, I was waking up at 4 a.m. to go and work out for 2 hours, then come back home, cook, cutting calories. And guess what? I was still gaining weight. I was still foggy. I was still with the crazy mood swings. I was still crashing at 3 p.m., waking up at 3 a.m. I was a hot mess because it's not another way to describe it. By the way, before I get into the juicy stuff, if you want this Google Doc to learn how to lose the weight with hypothyroidism, just join my community and you will have access to it right away. Let's talk about the steps I took. So the first one, well, I felt devastated because I felt like I didn't have answers. I felt dismissed. So I started doing my research. I tested for gluten sensitivities. And by the way, this is very important. When I did that test, it showed like I was not sensitive to gluten, but I still felt like something was off. And I saw so much research about the link and how gluten hurts our thyroid. And I decided to still go gluten-free. And within a couple of weeks, I felt the difference. So now I am gluten-free. I'm not going to lie because it's not about perfection, right? I do eat gluten once in a while, but I do pay for it. Like, honestly, it takes me 1 to 2 weeks to like feel good again. So be very careful with that. And don't just go by the test because obviously it's not that accurate. Then I kept on researching about the foods that were bad for my thyroid, like gluten, but also the ones that were good, that will support my thyroid, that will actually help me to heal my thyroid, not just like put in a Band-Aid, because pretty much that's what the medicine does. So this one was really hard because I developed hypothyroidism after losing my mommy to cancer. And I felt it was something inside me that told me that hypothyroidism and losing my mother had something to do with each other. But every time I mentioned to the doctors, they just dismiss it again. And I started working on myself. I started working on my trauma, and this helped me a lot. Flash forward, I found out an amazing research from this doctor from Harvard. Well, she had dedicated her life to this. So guess what? Grief, unprocessed trauma, loss, a heartbreakup, a divorce, all these things that hurt us having a traumatic childhood. If we don't heal, these things can cause hypothyroidism. So finding out the root cause of our hypothyroidism has to do a lot with what we have gone through in life. Also, how doing more when it comes down to working out with hypothyroidism keeps you stuck instead of helping you losing weight. And the reason for that is because when you work out till exhaustion, instead of lose weight, lose fat, burn calories, you are keeping your body in survival mode. Your body do not feel safe and your body is stuck. Why? Because these workouts that are just exhausting our body are just causing more inflammation. So that do not work for hypothyroidism. Let's talk about the good stuff here. And I lost 15 pounds in only 1 month as soon as I start applying everything I learned. I cut my meds from 295 micrograms to only 50 micrograms. This wasn't in 1 month, by the way. So this was a process. 6 months after I apply all this, I had my follow-up with the doctor. And as soon as he saw me and he saw my labs, he was like, wait, what are you doing? So I'm not going to deny it. With a lot of sass, I replied to him, well, do you remember the list of things I mentioned to you that I found out that I should be eating more, eating less, how I should work out, supplements and all this, and you just dismiss it? Well, guess what? I did not listen to you. I follow my gut, and here I am. He just looked at me, had like a little smile, didn't say anything, and lowered my prescription to 175 micrograms. A year later, when I came back, he was like, you know what? You are fired as a patient. That was really funny. I don't know, whatever you're doing, keep on doing it because obviously it's working. He lowered my prescription to 100 micrograms. And then later on, I decided myself to lower it to 50 micrograms. By the way, I'm not telling anybody to do that. That's what felt right to me. And honestly, I feel even better than before. So obviously it was the right decision. So my energy completely restored. I just feel amazing. I'm not dragging myself anymore. I'm not crashing at 3 p.m. I'm not waking up at 3 a.m. because we all know that happens. It's very crazy how at 3 p.m. is like somebody turn off our switch, and then at 3 a.m. is like someone turn it on and we cannot sleep. That has an explanation as well, but I will talk about it later on. My head was clear again. No more brain fog. No more going into a room and thinking, wait, what I was coming here for? Not anymore. Now I go into a room and I know exactly what I was going into that room for. I'm sleeping better. My skin feels better. And by the way, I am 47 years young. And I say this with a lot of pride because through this process, one of the things that I had learned is that age is only a number. When I was diagnosed, I was around 31 or 32 and I felt tired and I felt old and I looked old. But by transforming my body from the inside out, all that changed. Now at 47 years old, young, I feel better than before. So it's very important to be healthy and take care of ourselves. Also, I have been symptoms free for over 15 years. Completely symptoms free for over 15 years. To me, that's just amazing and I love to share that with you all. And this, I said it with a lot of love, and I'm super proud of it. Now I help other women to finally lose the weight, regain their energy, and feel like themselves again. This is so important because when you feel good with yourself, you are better to the people you love. As women, our nature is to take care of others. But guess what? If you are not feeling good with yourself, if you're not happy with yourself, you cannot be yourself for others. So yes, we have to be a little selfish for a little bit, take care of ourselves, heal, and then be that best version of ourselves that we want to be, than we deserve to be for ourselves and for our loved ones. By the way, I just realized something happened here, but I didn't talk about filling up the nutritional gaps. This is in the steps I took. This is the last bullet. I don't know what happened here. But anyways, I remember that's what matters. It's not about taking just a bunch of pills to take pills. It's that unfortunately our food doesn't have the same amount of nutrients than it used to have, 50 or 100 years ago. So we do have to fill up those nutritional gaps in order to heal our thyroid and reverse all the symptoms. Now, the conclusions. Well, doctors may prescribe meds, but that is not the full solution, my love. Healing requires making lifestyle changes. So we have to address the food that we're eating, how we move our body, and our emotions. So important. The things that we have gone through our life and we had pushed down because we need to put a brave face and keep on going. That's not how we heal. We have to address everything together. Our food, how to move our bodies, nutritional gaps, and our hearts. Our emotions, so important. Also, with the right system, you can reverse all the symptoms. So think about that for a second. What I'm telling you here is that you hold in your hands the power to reverse the symptoms, to lose the weight, to feel like yourself again, or even better, to regain the energy, to stop losing your hair, because we know that's one of the symptoms. You, my love, can do all this. You can lose the weight. You can just feel like yourself again. It is completely possible. Now, if this video sounds like, oh my goodness, Selene is just talking straight to me, so just book a call. I open only a few spots to work one-on-one because I want you to have my full attention. And right now I have only 2 spots left, so don't wait.